In this video, I'm going to show you another process that I use for framing pendants. As with most of my frames, I'm starting off with 6 inches of 16 gauge square. I'm going to start the frame by grabbing in the middle of the wire and bending both edges up evenly. From here, I just need to connect the two pieces of square at what will become either the back or the front of the bail, depending on how you design it. To connect the two of them, I've got a piece of 18 gauge half round that I'm going to wrap around both sections of square. Now for this, I would usually use a piece of wire out of my scrap pile, but using a couple inches off of the spool would work just as well. Once I've wrapped it around both times, just to make sure it's secure, I can make sure that the bottom part, which will actually become the frame of my piece, is about the shape and size that I need it to be for whatever stone I'm using. Once I have the outline of the frame shaped to the size that I need, I can go ahead and create a setting for the stone to sit in. I'm using my same piece of 18 gauge half round and wrapping it around the frame at the bottom so that the bottom of my stone will have something to sit on. Just once or twice around the frame to secure it on both sides. From here you can see that my oval-shaped stone sits nicely at the center of the frame and has something holding it into the piece from the back. I'm going to go ahead and create another bar across the back, also connecting these squares back into the piece to create the bail for the piece. To create the bail, I'm going to bend both squares over the top of my pliers, giving the shape that I need. And make sure that they're sitting parallel to the frame to be ready to connect back onto it. Before connecting the half round, I like to make sure that the endings for my bail fit nice, flush, and parallel to the square of the frame. Once I have those in place, I can take another piece of 18 gauge half round and bind them together around both squares. From there, I can either decide to trim our square endings a little bit shorter, making sure that I kink them so that they don't slide out of place, or I can leave them long, depending on personal preference. I usually prefer to go ahead and kink them so it's a little bit less bulk, and I tuck them in towards the center of the piece so that they are out of the way. From there, we have a nice frame that our stone can sit in, along with a bail for the pendant pre-made that's nice and sturdy, that will withstand friction from a chain. and we're ready to build the piece from there. If you liked this video or found it helpful, go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel for more content similar in the future. To see more of my work, check out the link to my Instagram in the description of this video. As always, a huge thank you goes out to those who are already supporting the channel through Patreon. If you're interested in helping support what I'm doing here, check out the link to my Patreon in the description of this video.